More than 200,000 people live in places that are slowly killing them. One town requires every resident to carry a gas mask by law. Another poisons its own drinking water every day on purpose. These are the 6 deadliest places people still call home, counting down to a city of 30,000 that runs on poison. Number 6. Miyakejima, Japan. In the summer of 2000, Mount Oyama, the volcano that makes up most of this small island south of Tokyo, began to erupt. By September, the government ordered every resident to leave. About 3,600 people packed what they could carry and boarded ferries for the mainland. Most of them assumed they would be back within weeks. They would not see their homes again for 4.5 years. The volcano did not bury the island in lava. It did something quieter. For 2 years after the eruption, it pushed 10 to 20,000 tons of sulfur dioxide into the air every single day. Sulfur dioxide burns the eyes, the throat, and the lungs. At high concentrations, it kills. In February 2005, the evacuation order was lifted and the islanders came home to a new law. Everyone on Miyakejima was now required to carry a gas mask, not to wear it. To carry it everywhere at all times because the mountain still vents gas without warning, and a siren gives you minutes, not hours. Parts of the island are closed to this day. Most of the islanders came back anyway. Asked why, they tend to give the same answer. It was home before the mountain made the rules, and it is home now. Number 5. Oymyakon, Russia. In February of 1933, a weather station in this Siberian village recorded a temperature of minus 67.7 degrees Celsius. No permanently inhabited place on Earth has ever measured colder. To find lower numbers, you have to leave for Antarctica, where nobody stays for life. About 500 people stay here for life. The cold organizes every hour of their day. Engines are left running from morning to night because an engine that stops in the street may not start again. Bare hands stick to metal. Eyelashes whiten and freeze within minutes of stepping outside. The ground itself is permanently frozen, so the village stands on it the way a ship stands on water. Nothing goes deep. The school gives this endurance a number. Classes are canceled only when the temperature falls below minus 52 degrees. At minus 51, the children of Oymyakon put on their coats and walk to school. Nobody here calls that heroism. It is Tuesday. Number 4. The Danakil Depression, Ethiopia. This is not the hottest place ever recorded. That record belongs to Death Valley on a single afternoon. Danakil is something harder to survive. Averaged across day and night, summer and winter, no place on Earth is hotter, year in and year out. The mean temperature across an entire year sits around 34 degrees Celsius, and for months at a time the afternoons push well past 45. The land lies more than 100 meters below sea level, on a spot where 3 tectonic plates are slowly tearing away from each other. The ground steams. Springs come up as acid. The rock is stained yellow and green by sulfur and salt, and almost nothing grows. And into this furnace, for centuries, the Afar people have walked, for salt. They cut it from the pans by hand, slab after slab, load it onto camels, and lead the caravans out, 10 to 15 animals to a pair of herders, the same long walk their great-grandfathers made. There was a time when those slabs were money. Salt from these flats was used as currency in Ethiopia into the 20th century. The heat has never once relented. Neither have the Afar. Number 3. Norilsk, Russia. This city was founded in 1935 as a labor camp, built by prisoners above the Arctic Circle. The prisoners are gone. What they built remains, one of the largest heavy metal smelting complexes on Earth, with a city of around 175,000 people attached to it. For years, its smokestacks released an average of 1.9 million tons of sulfur dioxide annually. That is more than half of Russia's entire sulfur pollution, roughly what the whole United States emits in a year, coming out of a single city. Downwind, the dead and dying forest covers an area larger than the state of New Jersey. In winter, the snow here sometimes falls black. The people of Norilsk breathe this every day, and the toll has a number: Factory workers live, on average, 10 years less than the Russian average. The city is closed. A foreigner needs government permission just to visit, and for 8 months of the year it is locked in polar cold and darkness. So why would anyone stay? The same reason the city exists at all: the ore. The mine pays wages you cannot earn in most of Russia, and for thousands of families that arithmetic outweighs the air. They would rather live shorter and provide. That is not recklessness. That is a decision, made soberly every single year. Number 2. Kawah Ijen, Indonesia. At night, this crater burns blue. Sulfuric gas escapes the rock under pressure, ignites on contact with the air, and runs downhill in veins of electric blue flame. At the bottom of the crater sits a lake, the color of turquoise, a lake of acid, hot enough and caustic enough to eat metal. And at the edge of that lake, men are working. The miners of Kawah Ijen break crystallized sulfur out of the rock by hand, load it into a pair of baskets on a shoulder pole, and carry it up the crater wall and down the mountain, 60 to 90 kilograms on one spine. Many make the trip twice a day. Against the gas, most of them carry no respirator at all. A wet scarf tied over the mouth is the standard equipment. The gas is the killer. Over the past 4 decades, more than 70 miners have died on this mountain, most of them in moments when a fissure opened and released a cloud without warning. The survivors carry the work on their bodies, scarred shoulders, burned lungs, teeth worn down by years of acid in the air. They keep climbing because the sulfur pays better than almost any work in the villages below, and a man with children does the arithmetic the same way in Java as he does in the Arctic. Number 1. Rinconada, Peru. 5,100 meters up in the Peruvian Andes, at the foot of a glacier, sits the highest permanent settlement on Earth. The air at this altitude holds roughly half the oxygen it does at sea level. Nothing grows here. Nothing is easy here, not sleeping, not digestion, not thought. Nearly 30,000 people live here anyway. They came for gold. Most of the miners work under a system called Kachorio, 30 days in the tunnels, unpaid. On day 31, the miner keeps whatever ore he can carry out on his own back, and only that. Some months, the sack holds almost nothing. Some months, it holds a fortune. Nobody knows in advance, and that is the point. The whole town is running on a bet. To get the gold out of the ore, the miners bind it with mercury and then burn the mercury off with blowtorches, in workshops, in doorways, in the middle of town. The vapor rises off 1,000 small fires, drifts uphill, and settles on the glacier above the city. The glacier is the town's only source of drinking water. There is no running water in Rinconada. There is no sewer. There is a city of 30,000 people at the edge of the breathable world, drinking its own poison, one melt season at a time, and everyone who lives there knows it. The men who burn the mercury know it best of all. And still, every year, more people climb the mountain to join them. Because the gold is real. Because the odds, however bad, are odds. Because down in the lowlands, the certainty on offer is poverty, and up here, at least, the lottery is open. 6 places. More than 200,000 people. None of these towns is a prison. The roads out are open, and everyone on them knows exactly what the air, the cold, the acid, and the mercury are doing to them. They stay for the same reasons anyone stays anywhere. The work is here, the family is here, the life they know how to live is here. The danger is simply the rent. And every morning, 200,000 people decide again that it is worth paying.